I'd rather live an additional 10 years here on this earth than having 10 pounds of extra muscle that's not going to help me live longer. Coach Greg, and in today's video, should walking count as exercise? And the reason for this video is because I coach so many people, and for the most part, when I ask them, what exercise are you doing? And the response, I walk. 80 minutes a week, 100, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours sometimes. I've even had people walk 15 to 20 hours a week. But should it count as exercise? And so to answer this question, well, first thing we need to do is look at the definition. And so here's the definition. Activity requiring physical effort carried out to sustain or improve health and fitness. And so to me, the key words are to sustain or improve health and fitness. And so if I go outside for a walk, perhaps an hour a day, am I going to sustain or improve my fitness? Absolutely not. If all I do is go for walks, my fitness gonna get worse. Why? Because walking's easy. Think of it. You just do this with your legs. Your arms sway back and forth, front to back. Is that hard? Well, for me, it's easy. But if you're in fact obese or old or a couch potato, then of course walking's exercise. But if you're already in decent shape, or you're young, active, walking, I personally don't think it should be labeled as exercise. Sure, it can relieve stress, it burns calories, but it's not exercise because it doesn't sustain or improve your health. And so I'm not here to tell people to stop walking, that it doesn't do anything, or that it's a complete waste of time. But for most people, it's simply not enough. At least when it comes to longevity. If you want to live a long and healthy life, the longest life possible, the best predictor of this is in fact your VO2 max. And so your VO2 max is a measure of how much oxygen your body can utilize. And by doing cardiovascular activity, especially at a harder pace, your VO2 max, it's going to improve. You may have heard a supplement called GO2 max. Why do you think I called it that? GO2 max is a play off VO2 max. It's so that you can improve your VO2 max. And so the reason people are buying GO2 max is because it's going to improve your ability to perform cardio. And in case you haven't already bought this, the best supplement in the world, you can head over to my website right now, code Greg, 10% off. And so walking is the most claimed exercise people do in the entire world. Many people buying Fitbits, special watches, tracking their steps. Increased step count leads to increased longevity. But why do you think that's happening? Studies have shown that walking 12,000 steps a day leads to people living a longer life than, for example, walking only 8,000 or even only 5,000 steps. Well, when you go from being a couch potato to doing more physical activity, walking, for example, it improves your VO2 max. But it's not going to keep improving it forever. It can take you from being in below or low average fitness to perhaps average or slightly above average fitness. And so for those people, walking is amazing. A guy like Brentley G, close to 500 pounds, even going for a very slow walk, that is more than enough to improve his cardiovascular health. But if you're an athlete, you swim, bike, run, do cross-country skiing, you're on the elliptical, doing the Stairmaster, walking, it's not enough. If we categorize you into 5 categories in terms of your VO2 max, the bottom 25%, the couch potatoes of the world, then 25 to 50%, still below average, then above average 50 to 75%, and then the high average 75 to 97.7%, and then the elite, the best of the best, cream of the crop, 97.7% or more. The 2 standard deviations above the mean. As you go from each category, moving your way up the ladder, becoming fitter and fitter than last time. Every category you move up increases your longevity. How long you're going to be on this earth. There is a 2 followed by 3, 4, and 5-fold increase in all causes of mortality. And so why would you just walk? When you know that pushing yourself a little bit harder, sometimes, perhaps do a few intervals, perhaps challenge yourself to get out of breath every once in a while. If you do, in fact, you are going to live longer. And you're thinking, yeah, I don't need to do that stuff because I lift weights. I have a lot of muscle. I'm a professional bodybuilder. Look at me. Look how jacked I am. Well, the reality is improving muscle mass above and beyond being average, it's not really going to be very beneficial. And one could argue that adding on too much muscle may result in a shorter lifespan. And take my family, for example, my twin brother with the least amount of muscle, moving up to Editor Steve with more muscle, and then followed by Coach Greg, the most muscle. You would not expect to see a longer lifespan as you move from my twin brother to Editor Steve to myself. But don't worry, if you're natural and training in the gym, it's very unlikely that you're going to put on so much muscle that it's going to lead to a shorter life. But to those of you saying you lift weights, you don't need to do cardio, consider this. If you were to lift fewer weights, you train your entire body for an hour, perhaps twice a week. If you were to do that and that alone and substitute your other workouts for cardio, you would in fact live longer. And what does this mean? Well, it means that if you have an average amount of muscle and strength, you have a decent physique. It's not a professional bodybuilder. You're just continuing to lift weights to get bigger, faster, stronger. It's not actually going to help you live longer. But if you put in the extra hours, the extra work on improving your cardio, improving your VO2 max, you are going to live longer. And don't get pedantic on me. I know you can get hit by lightning, struck by a car, and so on. I'm talking about on average. You guys know that. And so my suggestion, if you want to live the longest and healthiest life possible, please don't neglect cardio. The heart, that is the most important muscle in the human body. And if you're walking for your cardio, that's great. But it could in fact be better. It would be like going to the gym, lifting weights to build muscle, and stopping 5 reps from failure on every given set. It's alright, but it could be better. Why not challenge your muscles? Why not go to 3 reps from failure once in a while? And after you progressive overload, perhaps try going to failure. And so if you're just going for walks right now, like the majority of the world, try going a little bit harder. Pick up the pace, walk uphill, try jogging once in a while. Or of course, experiment with other forms of cardio. If you challenge yourself once in a while, perhaps twice a week, to doing a few harder bouts of cardio where you're getting out of breath, pushing yourself, that will lead to a greater VO2 max and a longer time here on this earth. And consider this, when I was growing up in physical education class, we had something known as the Canada Fitness Award Test. We were tested on 6 different fitness tests. For example, push-ups, sit-ups, sprinting, shuttle run. And so I did these fitness events and got the excellent rating in 5 of the 6 events, even set records for push-ups, shuttle run, and so on. But in the distance running portion of the events, starting with the mile 1 year and as we got older, a mile and a half, I only got the bronze, or the lowest level rating you could get. And in fact, the only person I beat in my class was my twin brother. We suffered from asthma. We did not have very good cardio. And so when it came time to presenting the awards, I was given the bronze, or the lowest rating. And so I raised my hand and said, how is this fair? I got excellent in 5 out of 6 events. I beat everyone in the class except for in the cardio run, and yet they're giving silver and gold medals. Why am I not getting a higher score? So the response was the one event, the cardiovascular portion, the running, was seen as being more important than all other 5 components combined. And so if you're thinking, well, you're in shape because you can lift a lot of weight, you're very strong, you can do a bunch of push-ups. Well, how is your run? How is your cardio? The most important muscle, the heart? How is that? And if you're abusing PDs to get those big muscles, what do you think that's doing to the body? And so what did I do? Well, I practiced running. I jogged the mile, got better, progressive overload, and before you knew it, I was running 8 miles in one single day. I kept practicing, and by age 13, I entered my first triathlon. And although I got last place, I was competing against adults. And when I redid that Canada Fitness Award program, got excellent in all 6 categories. Kept running, cycling, joined the swim team. Later became junior provincial triathlon champion. Placed 3rd in the senior men's. And so what is my message? Do cardio! Get better! Just because you're in the bottom rating right now doesn't mean you can't improve it. And if you're in the below average rating, become above average. If you're above average, become very above average. And if you're very above average, become elite! Start racing Coach Greg on Zwift! And no, you don't have to give up lifting weights. I still go to the gym, train my entire body every 3rd day, 2 or 3 times a week. And on top of that, I'm doing cardio, racing bikes, improving my VO2 max. And so the number 1 supplement I recommend, and you have to know why, VO2 max. This can in fact improve your VO2 max. And it's not just me saying this. Double-blind, placebo-controlled human studies show just how effective this is for improving your cardio in the real world. And not just in couch potatoes, in elite level athletes. It was discussed in detail on the Joe Rogan podcast featuring Andrew Huberman. Gives you more energy, better recovery, allows you to burn more calories in less length of time. This, my number 1 supplement, even more effective than even creatine. Please head over to my website, code Greg, 10% off. And many of you are thinking, I can't do cardio, I'll lose all my muscle. How do I look? I went from lifting weights 6 or 7 days a week to now only lifting 2 to 3 days a week. And I added in a ton of cardio, and yet I still have plenty of muscle. Am I as big as I used to be? Of course not. But what's more important? And you really think it's going to matter if I lose 10 pounds of muscle in exchange for having a healthier heart? I'd rather live an additional 10 years here on this earth than having 10 pounds of extra muscle that's not going to help me live longer. Sure, having more muscle can help you to look aesthetic, but what's really more important? Is it not more important to be a well-rounded athlete, able to perform cardio, to have muscle, and look aesthetic? Why put all your eggs in one basket when that basket not even going to help you to live longer? I encourage everyone, 150 minutes of moderate intense cardio per week. If you're overweight, old, a couch potato, then please start with walking. But if you already can walk, you're already in shape, try and push yourself, challenge yourself to be that much better. If you have no money, can't afford the supplements, cookbooks, and so on, please head over to my website regardless, enter your first and last name. I have a free diet and training program for you. It's over 50 pages. Quality information. It explains exactly how to eat, to lose weight, keep it off for the rest of your life. I want everyone to get in shape of their life. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. Like this video if you liked it. Please drop a like right now. Also, don't forget to watch one of the bloops, the cookbooks, the training books, the coaching plans by me and my team, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line, the Circle Diet book, my life's work, how to lose weight, keep it off for the rest of your life, to be healthy once and for all. Don't suffer on your diets. Pick up the books, and if not, get the free diet and training program. Follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette IP Pro, and until next time, I am out.